In this video, I am going to share my tips to develop an actual personal brand. We're going to dissect those steps so that you can learn the best practices to leverage your personal brand for success. And if you stick around to the end, I'm going to share with you a tool that I have that is going to help you from the beginning to the end, all the way to the point where you're leveraging it and distributing that personal brand for success. Hey, what is the point in having a personal brand if you don't know what it is or how to use it? Truth is, the term personal brand has become this ambiguous term that people use to answer a question like, how do you increase your sales? It really doesn't answer the question, and we've unfortunately become desensitized to the whole term altogether. You have people telling you it is about vanity URL, or it is what you put out, putting pictures of yourself on social media. That's how people are defining your personal brand. And guys, it's just not what it's about. Those are things that happen as a result of you having a personal brand. That's how you show off your personal brand. But that's not what the personal brand is, and that's not necessarily the best way to use it. The thing that you won't hear when you hear people talking about a personal brand is how to actually develop one from the ground up. So stick around to the end of this video and we will get there. But for now, let's dig into my development process to creating your very own personal brand. Step number 1, self-reflection. So, Andrea, why are you talking about self-reflection when it comes to creating a personal brand? Well, let me tell you why. You need to know how you were influenced. You need to understand how your experiences have shaped you. You also need to know what your perspectives are on the topic that you are sharing with people, or how it relates to the value that you're bringing to the table. And then you also need to understand what your passion is and how you're going to apply that to your ability to show up in the world. All of these things go into developing a personal brand. So there's no way you can really do it effectively and use it efficiently and effectively if you are not clear about who you are and how your personal brand is going to be showing up in the world. You don't need all the baggage that people have given you. You don't need all of the things that naysayers have said, and you don't need all of the negativity that's been poured into you from the beginning of time to go with you on this personal brand journey. You need to be as lean as possible, understanding who you are and what you need to do and be your best. So that's step number 1, is to do a little bit of self-reflection. It's actually a lot, but I'll say a little bit just for the sake of the video. But you definitely need to do some self-reflection. From this self-reflection is the next step, and that is building your self-confidence. Once you've done that work of self-reflection and understanding all the things that make you up, that are going to help you to leverage your personal brand through self-reflection, now you can begin to build your confidence, because you know that you know that you know who you are. And now it's just a matter of applying it in the various ways so you can overcome objections a little bit easier. You can brush off the naysayers when they come at you, and they will come. You can stand firm and not pick up every dollar just because someone put it down, because you'll know exactly where you shine. You'll know exactly where your strengths are, because you've done the work in the self-reflection. And here, as you begin to build up your self-confidence, you're understanding where those best places are for you to position yourself, what those best practices are that showcase you in a positive light. Building your self-confidence also helps you to set appropriate boundaries. It helps you to manage expectations, your expectations of yourself and the expectations that other people have for you. Additionally, it allows you to create a threshold on which people have to meet and able to have access to you. This is important because I've said this in a previous video. People will spend your time faster than they will spend your money. So if you've not set appropriate boundaries and created some level of a threshold with which people have to meet in order to gain your undivided attention or to have access to you, it is so much easier for them to spend your time when you haven't done those things. So in the second step of building your confidence, the self-confidence is going to come from knowing what you need to do your best and be your best self. From the self-reflection stage, you are now able to build on that self-confidence and do all of the things that I just mentioned. The third step is self-discipline. Now here, if you did not see my video last week, I talked about a personal operating system. That allows you to maintain a level of consistency in the way you behave, the way you show up to events, those circumstances for optimal success that we often talk about here on this channel. Your personal operating system is going to be the thing that supports the basic function of your day to day. It is how you measure up. It is making sure that you are walking within the personal framework that you have created for yourself, and you are able to set up the systems and processes that make it easier for you to do the things in a consistent way and to maintain those thresholds, maintain those boundaries, teach people how to treat you, set those right expectations and maintain those expectations. So the 3 steps that I have for you to develop your personal brand is to 1, do some self-reflection. 2, I want you to make sure that using that, what you find in your self-reflection and cleaning all that out, you can begin to build on your confidence so that you can show up the way that you want to show up consistently. And then again, self-discipline is where you are going to create that personal operating system, and you're going to create the support you need that is going to help you with the basic function of who you are to maintain that consistency. So those are the 3 steps that I have to help you develop a personal brand. Once you've done that, now you know how to operate in a consistent way. You know who you are, you know what you need to do and be your best, and now you can say, this is how I'm going to show up. This is the message that I want to leave behind when people have encountered me. That is your personal brand. Now, I want to dissect these things for you, okay? Let's get into it. So, the definition of a personal brand that I like to use is it is described as the process by which individuals and entrepreneurs differentiate themselves and stand out from the crowd. They do this by identifying and articulating their unique value proposition and leveraging it across platforms with a consistent message and image to achieve a specific goal. So that is the definition that I love to use for putting your personal brand to work. We've established the personal brand with those 3 steps. Now let's put it to work with personal branding. And I just gave you the definition that I like to use for personal branding. It is again, let me read it to you. It describes a process. So a process is something that happens. It has action. We are taking who you are, your personal brand, and we are applying it inside of this process to differentiate yourself using your unique value proposition. We're going to leverage it across platforms using a consistent message and images that are going to help you achieve your goal. So now let's put the personal brand that you created with self-awareness, self-confidence, and self-discipline. We've established who you are as a personal brand. Now let's put that to work. And we're going to dissect this definition right now. All right, so self-reflection helps you to differentiate yourself. That is why self-reflection is so important. You are as unique as a snowflake. There is no one who has the same combination of experience, influence, perspective, and passion. That's why self-awareness is so important. It is going to help you differentiate yourself from the pack. Self-confidence is going to help you articulate that unique value. Now that you know who you are, you've unpacked your bag, you understand what you need to do and be your best, you can now be confident in that and articulate your value in a very unique way. And you can be very clear about who you are and what you bring to the table. That's why building that confidence, once you know who you are and what you need to do and be your best, is so important in your ability to leverage your personal brand using personal branding. Then lastly, Self-discipline is how you create the appropriate systems and processes that are going to help you leverage yourself on the platforms. Think about it. Once you know exactly who you are because you've done the work, you have the confidence to share yourself with the world. Now you have to actually share yourself with the world. So you're going to leverage it by distributing that personal brand across platforms. Social media, maybe a blog, maybe a podcast, maybe here on YouTube like I'm doing. It's how you're able to confidently go about sharing your value with the world. It is how you're going to leverage yourself across platforms using images and consistent messages to achieve your goal. Now, thirdly, the easy way to do this, right? It's an easy way to do this, and I've come up with it, and it is my Project CEO program. I take you all the way from the beginning, where we are getting down the nitty-gritty of doing the introspection required for you to have self-awareness, all the way up to the point where you are able to leverage who you are to get what you want using the personal brand that you developed. I hope this video was helpful to you guys. If it was, please give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed to get more great tips and techniques like this here on this channel. We're talking about change management, we're talking about personal branding, and we're talking about leadership here on this channel. So I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe. Join me again next week. All right, guys. Have a great one. Bye.